trust me, bro attitude that is conveyed by some people in the community that put themselves on these high pedestals and kind of gatekeep information. And to say Jeremy is not one of those people is an understatement. Okay? Because he very much is. Now, I'm not going to say he has not put out great work. Him and George Knapp, I like what they're doing. But they definitely hold themselves high to a higher standard and to a higher degree than the rest of the community. They are separate to the community is the way they see it. They are giving the information. He said it in multiple podcasts about how he doesn't even check Twitter. He doesn't even look at the numbers for weaponized, this or that. He doesn't. So in my opinion, listen, do I have to agree with? I don't agree with Dr. Greer, but I still watch every movie he makes because there are things like you got to separate the wheat from the chaff. And you got to, in this community, you have to be able to look at both sides, wean through it, and take what you need from it. So that's what we need to do more of.
Exactly. And I would just echo what you were saying about, the gatekeepers and the community. And yeah, I could level a bunch of criticism against Corbell right now, but he also got this data, he got the video, and he put it out there. And I'm here analyzing that information. And I like to try to think of myself as being, objective in the sense that I can separate my feelings for a person from the case at hand. So that's what I'm trying to do with this case. I still think
I respect that.
Yeah.
So that video is interesting. So that came separately and much later. So that wasn't a part of the official release.
Yeah, this was not part of the release. And there's also a couple of photos that didn't come out with the release.
Oh, the photos came after.
Well, so, there's so many different witnesses. Like, for instance, this photo came after.
So that, yes.
This came after the podcast.
Can you, shit. Can you zoom in on that? By your browser? Like if you go to your browser and try to zoom in. Yeah, there you go. Twitter doesn't let you do anything.
But I might be able to bring it up because I have it saved on a file.
Yeah, right here, it doesn't really look like much, but it does show, like, in the actual picture when you can see it in like clear form, it does show up as like you can see each individual point of light, and it shows that similar V shape.
Yeah.
What's different is the contrast of the sighting here. So that's what's throwing me off here. It looks
this is a low light, and this is a iPhone 11 taking a low light photo at night.
How did it get? Because the other videos are so dark.
Yeah, so the low light photo function on an iPhone, you can take photos at night using a long exposure, and it makes it much brighter. So like you can see the mountains and the hills away. So you can take photos like that, but you can't take video of that night.
So this person had the wherewithal to do that, which is great. So I would love to get the actual picture up here. While you find that, I do want to show you guys something, because I found a couple instances of just what flares do look like when they're dropped. It looks something similar to this, or something similar to this. They leave trails of smoke behind them. They illuminated for seconds, not minutes, sometimes not even minutes. They're a very quick flash of light. But these were not flares. I can definitely rule that out right now already.
Yeah, I can definitely rule that out too. Here's another photo, a low light photo We can just barely see the craft down here. And then let's see. Obviously, that's has filters put onto it. But I think why don't we dive into the witness testimony? You want to do that now that we've gone through the video?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do that.
So these are some of the. So what you're saying is these are some of the Marines that were there, and their testimony that they gave to Weaponized.
Yep.
Okay.
And we can just pause and whenever you want talk about what they say.
Could let them play fully through.
So I'm a mortarman, and he's artillery.
What are the facts, man? Like what base? Which Marine base? And what time was this?
2 nights ago, it was roughly like 8:25-ish at night. It was near 29 Palms, California.
So I don't know if you're familiar with the base at all, but Camp Wilson is attached to 29 Palms. So it's like a one-way road in and out of the camp.
One of my buddies was outside. He was looking in the sky, and then it just kind of appeared out of nowhere. And we all came out and looked, and then slowly, like 50-plus people started coming out and looking. Those lights appeared out of nowhere.
Obviously, a lot of people saw this. What did people think?
They were just kind of like baffled. Nobody could recognize it. I mean, we're all in the military, so you'd think we'd.
This happened in a number of places. I've got reports from other people. They're coming in. The video you sent me, was that yours?
Yes, that was mine. That was from my iPhone.
And the photo, was that a still photo or pulled from the video?
It was a still photo. If you
What
look in the picture,
fuck?
you can see like a black triangular shape.
Why are these not flares?
Because they stayed there for a solid 10 minutes, just in the same spot.
And flares don't sit in one spot for 10 minutes?
No, they fall.
So you personally know that these were not flares. Do you believe this was a craft?
Yeah, I would have to believe so. With the picture I took with the black triangular shape underneath the lights, it's definitely not any type of like flare or illumination rounds or anything.
I didn't mean to butt in, but I work with artillery, and we shoot illumination rounds out of our arty guns into the air to illume infantry guys.
Yeah.
This was nothing compared to what that is. Like, this was something none of us had ever seen before. It was completely different color. The size of the illumination was
This
different.
is fucking
and when we
crazy.
shoot illumination rounds, it's one, you shoot it in the air and let it drop, and then you shoot another one. This was like, obviously you've seen the picture, this was like 5 right next to each other, and they're kind of reddish, and our loom rounds are like a yellow-white color.
So this
As
was a
you can
craft. Was it
see
hovering
right here.
stationary? Was there any sound?
There was absolutely no sound.
No sound, but it was definitely stationary.
How big was it? Estimate to me, how big?
Compared to one of those stealth bombers, the size,
Well, hold on. Stealth bombers can't hover.
exactly. That's why I can compare it to that, but that's how I know it wasn't that.
I would say the size of like 3-bedroom house. I don't know,
What the hell?
maybe bigger.
You said that there were like objects that came out and like circled it right after, and then it went dark. What do you mean?
So right before they went out, the illumination rounds popped off over top of it. Those 2 orange lights, the actual illumination rounds that went up over top of it, and then after that it disappeared, like just straight went black, and then helicopters started like hauling ass towards it, and they went.
Whoa.
And then it started.
Can you pause?
Yeah.
He said a helicopter.
Yeah, and I
He
actually
said a
had that.
helicopter started hauling ass towards it.
Yeah. So, and then there's also a video of that too. They recorded the helicopter response, and and they said there was a convoy response too of 50+ trucks. So it was a big deal.
So there was a massive response.
Yeah, there was 2 flares launched at the time, and then immediately after there were helicopters hauling ass, low-flying helicopters. Yeah,
what time was it?
It was around 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
Yeah, in that time, 8 to 8:30.
Yeah, they would not be conducting training at that hour on that.
Well,
Or
they do
not
conduct night
they do
training,
conduct
though.
training at night. I'm not,
Yeah.
but I don't think the training thing doesn't seem like it's adding up. Because the people that be trained, it just
They
doesn't.
wouldn't be doing the training right where the camp is. They
That's
go
what I'm
out.
saying.
They go out to the ranges and then do the training there, and then they come back to the camp. They don't do the training right at the camp.
Yes, and that's what I mean. Thank you.
Yeah.
But it's so the active training doesn't. So that takes that theory out for me. I don't think it's flares. So now we can continue. You can continue.
Okay.
Helicopters started like hauling ass towards it, and they went like in the direction of it, and then they started circling the area.
These helicopters were circling for a good bit afterwards, and there was a convoy as well that went out. It was like a 60+ truck convoy that we saw go out as well.
We were taking pictures afterwards. It was just straight black, just disappeared.
What do you think you saw?
I couldn't tell you. I just know it's not anything that I recognized or any of my close friends could recognize either. So I don't think it was anything U.S. military. Definitely some type of UFO, and government was trying to look for it after it disappeared. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell that was.
This is a highly documented event. We just don't know what it is.
Yeah. Like through exercises, we've worked with a lot of people who use different type of weapons. So I've never seen anything like it.
What the fuck?
My role was
Okay, so that was the first two witnesses there.
Oh my god. So I'm just gonna say it. They don't sound. You can hear it in their voices that they did not know what this was. This caught them by surprise.
Yeah, they were disturbed, I think.
And again, yeah. So when something and 29 Palms is a very, very active military base. So
It's also a paranormal hotspot, that area. That's Joshua Tree right by there.
Yes.
And that whole Mojave Desert there.
Yeah.
And there's also been talk that 29 Palms might have a deep underground military base located there as well.
Yeah. Doug, but I wouldn't be surprised. But I can't confirm nor deny.
I don't have. That's just out in the ether in the community.
Yeah.
Like there's some maps of deep underground military bases, and 29 Palms is on there.
I would say that it would be stupid not to. So, but let's continue with the witnesses.
Yeah, let's go.
infantry.
Am I going to get copyrighted? So that's why I'm putting up banners and stuff.
Yeah, put up the banners as much as possible.
All right.
And then let's pause and like talk about it as much as possible. Fair use.
Yeah, because I can do the fair use. I just don't want to get.
But I don't think Corbell's gonna strike you down. And if he did, that would be a big deal in the community, right?
Yeah. So if anyone does, if I am stricken down, Corbell, come on, man. you say you don't care, right? You don't care. So put your money where your mouth is. Let me use this. But let's continue.
April 20th, 2021. You were there that night?
Yes.
And you saw it?
Yes. I saw it appear and disappear.
Well, first of all, how many people do you think saw this?
So there's like 15 people in my hooch, and the line of hooches, there's a bunch of people. There's like 10 hooches in a line with people in it, so a lot of people saw it.
Yeah, I heard about 50 witnesses at Camp Wilson alone.
Yeah.
How were you first alerted to the fact it was outside? Like, how did you first see it?
When we were there, we would have like, at night, we'd have like story time or something just to pass the time, and it just appeared. And then when we saw it, and then everyone started freaking out.
They
Everyone
really
started
they were freaking out a little.